Hi everybody, let me welcome you to MMST 143A, Web Development 1. This is your instructor, James Gonzalez. In this course, you're going to learn the basics of developing and coding websites using HTML and CSS. You don't need to be a computer expert or know how to code to be successful in this class. This is an intro-level survey introduction to the HTML and CSS scripting languages that are commonly used today to build websites. Everything you'll need to know will be covered in this course. There are no on-campus requirements for the online section of 143A, but be sure to check the syllabus for times and locations for online meetings. There will usually be a time during the week that I'll be available online to answer questions, do tutoring, and small group lectures. Just be sure to check the syllabus for the times and locations of these. The grading in this course will be based on three things: assignments, quizzes, and participation. The assignments and quizzes are accessible via each of the topics. They're all located in a central location here in the assignments page via the assignment link. Notice that there are due dates for each assignment. It's important that you meet these due dates to make sure that you finish all of the assignments and quizzes before the end of the semester. There are 5 assignments here. Introduce yourself, sign up for the editing and web hosting. Those are 2 very quick assignments. And then you're going to start with HTML, demonstrating your skills with CSS. Then you're going to code 2 pages to test your layout skills with the CSS that you'll learn. And then there's a final assignment on media queries. And depending on how far we get, sometimes we'll get to this next assignment, which is putting it all together, and you'll create a final website kind of summarizing all of the skills that you've learned. Sometimes we don't quite get to this final assignment. Check my weekly emails for more information on that final assignment. You will be getting an email, usually at the start of the week on Sunday or Monday, that summarizes the work for the upcoming week. Now, there's also a participation grade beyond the assignment and quizzes, and that's going to be based on the amount of time that you spend in the Canvas course system. The Canvas course will measure every time you log in and log out your total hours, which pages and links you visited, and just basically keeps track of all of your hours spent. It's required that you spend between 10 and 12 hours per week going through the various links here in each topic in the Canvas course system. Also, you'll be posting discussions in each of the topics, also accessible all of them via this discussions link over here to the left. First discussion is just introducing yourself, but then you're going to learn how to record screencasts right here. Install a screen recorder and then record a sample screencast. These are going to be about every 2 or 3 weeks. You'll be recording one of these screencasts following the directions here in this video to demonstrate your progress through the various course assignments and quizzes. These will be short, quick little demonstrations of what you've learned, or if you have any questions, if you have any problems. These are a good way to give me feedback on how you're doing, and if you are having any problems or issues, what I usually do is record a short screencast back to you, reviewing your work and showing you where you need improvement or showing you where you have problems, or just kind of giving you some general feedback. So be sure to learn how to create those screencasts, and then at the end, usually at the end of each topic, there is a requirement that you create one of these screencasts and then post it to the discussion area. So here's these screencasts that you'll create for your CSS markup. You'll just reply to this opening discussion, and I demonstrate in the video how to upload your screencast to Dropbox and then provide a link right here in the discussions area so we can all see your review, your self-review of your work. The course is set up in a series of topics, and you'll simply just complete each topic in order, starting with topic 0. And if you click on the link here on the home page, you'll notice that everything is divided up into tasks and they're numbered. So you'll do task point 1, then point 2, then point 3, then point 4. Notice there's a course syllabus here. Be sure to review the syllabus for instructor contact information, office hours, when we're going to have our online live sessions. Usually that'll be a survey that will be sent out to you, and we'll decide when is the best time to meet live. In topic 1, you'll be signing up for web hosting. It's very important that you set up a way for you to share your work, and that'll be through this web host, and I've managed to secure free web hosting for you so you don't have to pay for that. This is where you'll post your work so that the rest of the students and your instructor can see it very easily. You're also going to need to sign up for a code editor. There's many of these code editors out there. The last several years, many students liked CodePen.io or Repellent. These are really nice because you don't need to upload files. You just basically work within that development system, and then they'll provide a URL for you that you'll just post to the various assignments. Now, the various materials that you'll find located in each of the topics kind of fall into 3 categories. Notice that you're going to be doing 3 units, one on HTML, one on CSS, one on CSS positioning, and then a last unit on media queries. And for some of these, there'll be a mini course right here that looks like this. This is my website, and you'll need to log in again. This has nothing to do with the school's website. You'll log into these mini courses here by clicking on the Enroll button and go ahead and just enroll. It's free, but it just requires a username and a password, so go ahead and set those up. And then once you do, you'll get put right into the course here. And the reason I kind of divided up the core content of the course into these mini courses is I think these are a little easier to follow. And the reason for that is that everything is organized, color-coded, and then as you go through each little lesson here, what I like about this is there's videos or there's text for each one, and as you complete each one, at the very bottom of the session or the lesson, there's mark as complete, and there's a handy next lesson button. So you'll notice that as you go through, it tells you here how much of the course you've completed, and it also will let you know which lessons, if let's say you want to come back the next day or the next week or so, if you go back to your course from the main page here, not only will it tell you which courses you completed, let me show you on this one here. Notice that if you go here and you complete this one, it not only tells you what percentage you've completed, but over here, notice that it'll mark that lesson is completed. So notice it changes color, it goes in gray, there's lines under it, so you can kind of really tell, and it guides you through the various materials. These are broken up into small pages, so I think this interface that I created, it's a website that I created for you, is easier than the Canvas, because the Canvas doesn't really tell you, hey, I've done this lesson. Whereas my mini courses, as you complete them, let me show you another example. You read through here, you completed, then be sure to just click on Mark Complete. And then once you do that, it just tells you, look, you've finished this one, but you haven't done this one. And that kind of guides you straight through it. So it also tells you how much of the mini lesson you've created. So there's 2 of these that you're going to finish. You're going to do the HTML5 and the CSS mini courses. Now there's also, for some of the tasks, like this article, Why Learn HTML, these will take you to websites that have text-based tutorials. And there's 2 of these. They're both equivalent. There's the W3 Schools, and then there's the Mozilla one. Some students prefer the W3 Schools, so that's the one that I've hooked up to the class. But if you don't like this one, you might want to try this developer.mozilla.org Introduction to CSS. There's one for CSS and there's one for HTML. So there's my courses, which are mostly text-based. There's these, which are web-based. And then the final version is video. Some students prefer watching videos. So in the course, you'll notice that I have alternative video-based tutorials for both Intro to HTML and the CSS, which are the 2 main topics of the course. So just go through in order. You don't need to do both the video-based and the text-based courses. Whatever you feel more comfortable with, do one or the other. So here's a text-based tutorial on CSS, and then below it, notice that that's the same task, 3.3. There's an alternative video-based. So whichever one you prefer. Some students prefer one or the other. And also some students prefer the W3 Schools kind of website versus the MDN website. If you have any questions or concerns about anything that I've covered here, or anything that you discover in the course, don't hesitate to contact me via the People link over here to the left. Click on that link and that'll give you a list of everyone in the class. Go ahead and find my name and click on it. And once you do, you'll see a little icon of an envelope. Click on that envelope icon. That'll open up the send a message box. Go ahead and add a subject in here. Always include MMST 143A or Web Development 1 in the subject line. So that'll wrap up my introduction here to the MMST 143A Web Development course. I'm really looking forward to a great semester and working with all of you, and I can't wait to see your websites and your HTML and CSS work.